Alrighty everyone, welcome back. Now, given that Disney and Lucasfilm are now really beginning to expand their roadmap more than ever before, and how they have a lot of announcements on the horizon over at Celebration next year, as well as D23, both John and Dave are really gearing up for their major announcements and what they are about to contribute to the Star Wars universe. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that I think a lot of fans absolutely need to know about when it comes to Bob Iger's plan, the Disney higher-ups plan, the board, and exactly how they are getting ready to transition back to putting out major Star Wars movies again. That's not to say that they're gonna just throw away with Star Wars TV shows. That will continue. But Iger's overall plan is to go back to the theaters, go back to theatrical releases, make new trilogies, make new solo films, whatever have you. And that is, of course, the heart of Star Wars. Let's be real. When we think about Star Wars, it always dates back to the theaters. Now, with that being said and all, what's even all the more exciting has a lot to do with exactly what Disney and Lucasfilm are planning with a new Star Wars trilogy that's going to be based in a specific era of the Star Wars universe that dates back to Star Wars Legends. So with that being said and all, what's even all the more exciting about this is, given that we have a lot of different eras being created by Favreau and Filoni, a post-Episode 9 series, more Mandoverse era stuff, and even between the events of High Republic and prequel trilogy that's being done by Favreau and Filoni as well. However, with Disney and Lucasfilm focused on many different projects for the Star Wars franchise, creators John and Dave are doing the unthinkable things with, of course, the brand to support the fandom down the road. However, it's noted that Disney is now focused on a new Star Wars trilogy that is planned to be based within the Old Republic era of the Star Wars franchise. Both Favreau and Filoni will be involved as co-writers, and will be the ones hiring the main writers of the new trilogy that will focus on characters like Darth Bane, Revan, Malak, Malgus, and even Jedi as well, that will make casual fans familiar with this war-heavy era between Jedi and Sith, as well as bounty hunters. Actor Keanu Reeves is set to portray the Big Bad, known as Darth Vitiate, that is said to be far more sinister than Palpatine himself. Now, the aim that Lucasfilm wants to go for with this trilogy is combining the feel of the Gladiator movie and Lord of the Rings combined, and mixing the Star Wars tones in with those two for the Old Republic trilogy. Now, actress Jennifer Connelly from Top Gun Maverick is set to play a new Jedi in this trilogy that goes under the codename of Varana. Favreau and Filoni have already created concept art for Keanu Reeves' take on Darth Vitiate, and that he will be wielding a curved lightsaber blade this time around. Now, I want to go over one thing about all of this, is that, for those of you that don't know, the Old Republic is a very detailed era in Star Wars. It's a very respected point in time among hardcore fans. A lot of people around the globe love this point in time in Star Wars because of how it really showcases the struggle between Jedi and Sith. It shows us those wars. And it's a time where the Sith really hit their peak. And I think that what's great about this, too, is that they are going to be combining the tones from the movie Gladiator and the movies of the Lord of the Rings franchise, and mixing those tones with the tone of Star Wars. So you kind of get an idea that it's going to be a mixture of things like medieval times, or the Roman Empire, or stuff around those lines, that's really going to be mixed in together with this space opera, as George Lucas likes to call it, right? And once again, they want to keep the aspect of family intact within the Old Republic. So we could very well see the Zakuul coming into the equation. For those of you that don't know about the Zakuul, it's a very long explanation, but it is a very well illustrated thing that has a lot of connections with Darth Vitiate. Now, on top of this, alright, What's even all the more exciting is that this Old Republic trilogy will bring back the Empire, but not in the way that you think. It's going to showcase the Sith Empire. So they're going to be switching a couple things around from what we know about the Old Republic in Legends and how it's going to be illustrated in the current canon. Now, the overall format that Disney wants to go for with these new movies is that they want the movies to switch back and forth throughout different points in time of the Old Republic era. For those of you that don't know, the Old Republic bounces back and forth between many different years, and the books and the video games, etc., covers a lot of that. And that's what they want to do with the movies. They want to actually have the films kind of showcase one point in time, then another movie showcasing another point in time. I would imagine it may be similar to the Indiana Jones format, where Raiders of the Lost Ark takes place at one point in time, and then Temple of Doom takes place, I think it was about a year or so, before the events of Raiders. So it could very well be something like that. So overall, with that being said, moving forward, the first of its kind in live-action form with the curved lightsaber blade will be seen. This is not to be confused with the hilt. The actual blade is set to hold a curve to its, of course, own ability of mimicking a samurai sword. Creator George Lucas will also be using some of his ideas and concepts for the Old Republic from Star Wars Legends that will be placed within the new trilogy that Disney plans to announce sometime during the holiday season of next year for the fans to enjoy around the globe. Now, the thing about this, alright, is that the Old Republic trilogy, it is going to feature a lot of great things from Legends. Favreau and Filoni are going to be in charge of hiring the main writers. Now granted, they themselves won't be the main writers, they are going to be co-writers of some of those movies. For example, Favreau might be a co-writer of the first film, and Filoni might be a co-writer of the second film. But one thing that they will have a privilege with is that they will have control over who they hire, or who gets hired, as the main writers for this new trilogy. Now, we already discussed this about a week or so ago, that Lucasfilm is looking at director Matt Reeves to direct at least one of these Star Wars movies. And you know what? Looking at The Batman 2022, I could see why they would want him, because they want something dark and gritty and just very, violent and very adult-esque, I guess you could say. It is going to be a very interesting path for Star Wars with the Old Republic era, and how it is going to feature ruthless Sith Lords, Jedi in struggle, and just showing us that point in time that we have never seen before in live action that I believe deserves to be seen. So, anyways, with that being said, guys, I think that John and Dave have their heads on straight once again. Disney is trying to bring things back to the theaters, and rightfully so. And let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to